Hi everyone, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. This is week 5 meals of my $23 grocery budget challenge and pantry build. If you haven't been following along the way the challenge is working, I am spending $23 weekly on groceries. I am making breakfast, lunch, and supper for 7 days and eating the meals myself. I was away a couple days last week before that, and I got off track with my videos, so I'm trying to get back on track. So this week there's only 6 days, just so that I can get back on track. But don't worry, I shared my meals with the handsome one on multiple occasions. So we actually had more than 21 meals this week between myself and him. We are doing really fantastic. I had some really great meals this week that I was really excited about. I was able to get some different supplies in my week 5 shop than what I'd had before, and it opened up some other opportunities for me. Check out what we were able to make and let me know what you think. I've got a couple ingredients laid out here: oatmeal, chocolate chips, coconut, honey, and peanut butter. I am going to make some protein balls. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just adding this stuff in, and I'll add the coconut and the chocolate chips, stir this all together, and if I think maybe it needs more, then I'll add more, because I do have more of everything except for the coconut and the chocolate chips. Those are limited. Okay, so I got a dozen plus 1 extra. I'm going to pretty these up a bit. I've got them on waxed paper, and I am going to put them on the fridge in the fridge to solidify. They're quite substantial. I used my scoop, and they have in them both of the bags of oatmeal that I had prepared for morning breakfasts. Peanut butter, and I just scooped a lot. I probably used a quarter of the jar, and I just used maybe 3 spoonfuls of honey, and then the coconut and the chocolate chips, which you can't even, oh, maybe that's one chocolate chip hidden right in there. There was not very many chocolate chips. I'm hoping that there's at least 1 in each of these balls. These look really good. Today for breakfast, 2 peanut butter oatmeal protein balls. I'm a light breakfast eater. I typically don't eat breakfast at all. So when I do eat breakfast, having something that is really easy, pre-prepared, on the go, like if I was in the car on my way, I could eat something like this, and I like that. It's another reason I like the protein bites, or the egg bites, because they're really easy, they're pre-done. Yeah, now let's see how these taste. Really good. Very delicious. I can taste that little hint of coconut. They're good. I thought they would just taste like eating a bunch of peanut butter, but it's really good. Actually, I'm very pleasantly surprised with this. I am going to make a tuna pasta salad for a couple days for some light lunches. So this is the tuna that I'd frozen. This is a half a can of tuna and the juice from the tuna. I'm also going to use in the dressing some of the dilled broth that I have left over from my dilled carrots. I'm going to mix that with mayo. I'm going to grate some of the carrots. I'm going to use some lemon because lemon dilly is good with tuna. Yeah. So far, I got some of the veggies cut up. My tuna is thawed. I've got one of the lemons cut in half. And I am just going to squeeze some of the lemon juice. Whoops. I'll get that out after. So I added a little squirt of mayo into the tuna and the lemon. And I actually, that lemon that fell in there, the pulp, I actually cut that up and took a little bit more out of that half of a lemon and added that in. I added a couple spoonfuls of the dill, sprinkled some pepper on top, stirred it up. This is what's going to be my sauce. Maybe I'll need more. We won't know until we actually put it all together. Okay, we've got the pasta. Now let's add the veggies. Get that stirred in. And now the dressing. Of course, the tuna's inside of that. I'll scrape everything out after. Let's start kind of mixing this in. I might need more liquid. This has to go in the fridge to chill, but I am going to do a little taste test before that happens. I can taste the dill. I can totally taste the lemon. Really good. I'll add salt and more pepper when I season it to eat. Once this is chilled, this is going to be super delicious. This was a good idea. Tuna pasta salad for lunch today. They had someone came in when I was serving it and said, well, I don't know if I like that. And that's fine because I wasn't serving him any. Ha. I don't know if any of you guys could foresee this coming with the yeast, more cheese. We're having pizza for supper tonight. Made the dough in the bread maker. We have had it with this covering. It's been rising for the last couple hours. So we, and I say we, because the handsome one's going to be eating this as well. So we are going to have pizza tonight. I've got the dough spread out on the big pan, the big bar pan, spread out nice. I have homemade pizza sauce that I'm going to top this with, and then I'll start getting my toppings ready. This is looking pretty good. For toppings, I have mushrooms, onions, peppers, pepperoni, and cheese. That's plenty for a very delicious pizza. So far, so good. Onions, peppers, pepperoni. I used only half the pepperoni, so I'm going to put the other half in the freezer. I cut the slices quite thin. Now I've got to get the mushrooms and the cheese on. It's always great when you have an ingredient that works in several different recipes that you're making in the same week. Yay! Yay, black olives. Okay, we are ready to go in the oven. I don't have much spices, but I do have a tiny little bit of oregano that I had as a free spice and some parsley. But there's tons of spices in the homemade pizza sauce preserves that I made, so that will be great. This looks pretty fabulous. Thick crust. We normally like a thin crust, but we went with the thick crust pizza tonight. We're going to let this cool a little bit, and then we're going to cut it up. And the handsome one and I are both going to have pizza for supper. This looks pretty amazing. Wow. Really large pieces. I'm not going to be able to eat all this. I don't think so. The handsome one served us some very generous sizes. I'll try. One peanut butter oatmeal protein ball for breakfast. I gave one to the handsome one as well. They're pretty filling, and we typically don't eat breakfast anyways, so I don't feel like I need more than one. I know that I was going to eat 2 yesterday, but I actually ended up giving one of those to the handsome one as well. This is just giving a little insight into what the weather is like here today. It is storming. It's been storming since yesterday. Pasta salad for lunch today. And I did let the handsome one try it, and he doesn't like it. And that's fine because he's not eating it. I'm eating it. I did top this with pepper and salt, but I thought I should add why the handsome one doesn't like it. There's literally nothing wrong with this tuna pasta salad, except that it has uncooked onions in it, which he doesn't like in cold pasta salads or any kind of salad like that. Tuna salad sandwiches, egg salad sandwiches, no onions in that. But I made this with the intent that I was eating it and I like the onions in it. So this all works out perfect. Tonight we are going to have chili cheese nachos. No, wrong. Chili cheese fries. Chili cheese fries, hence the potato.
I'm going to cook some rice that I'm going to have for a meal later this week, but then I'm going to use some of that cooked rice to make a slurry, which is going to be the basis of my cheese sauce. I'm thawing the chili out, and I'm just going to make home fries for it. I have oil now. Ooh, you don't need much. Now, whoops, shake everything up. The rice is cooked. Now I'm going to separate just a small amount out for the slurry. The majority of this I'm just going to put in the fridge for another meal this week. Now I'm going to start working on the slurry. So there's just a little bit of rice in here. I've added water. I'm going to cook this, bring this to a boil and cook it down until it gets to be like a white, starchy kind of mess. And then I'm going to melt 2 of the cheese slices into this, and it's going to become my cheese sauce for my chili cheese nachos. So my slurry's pretty much done. I use my little hand blender to mix that up even a little bit more. I might get at that a little more before I add the cheese slices. Okay, this looks a bit better now. I'm going to add those cheese slices in there, and we're going to make a cheese sauce. I've ripped up one of the pieces, or one of my cheese slices. I've got it in here. I'm going to let that heat and melt, and then add in the other one as well. I'm using 2 cheese slices. So you can see this is it's already starting to melt. It's already starting to look very cheesy. Well, I mean, I'd hope that would happen if I put 2 cheese. Oh, and my fries are done, so this is really good timing. See a big clump of the cheese there, just more needs to melt. I should have taken the cheese out of the fridge first. I never thought. Sometimes I'm smart like that. This is looking really good. I had this much of the jalapeno cheese left from out of this slice from when I had the wraps last week. So I'm going to add this in too, and it'll give my cheese sauce just a little bit of a bite. My fries are ready. My cheese sauce, ooh, look how good that looks, is ready. My chili is heated. But the interesting thing is, you remember when I misspoke earlier and I said, oh, I was having chili cheese nachos for supper? Well, the handsome one heard me say that and immediately said, I have nachos. Can I have chili cheese nachos for supper? So I said, fine, you can have some of my cheese sauce and some of my chili and make your own chili cheese nachos. I'll show a little video once we get everything plated. Okay, this looks pretty good. I'm excited. I might have a little bit of ketchup on the side because, you know, I have some now. Here's the handsome ones. Mooching my cheese sauce, mooching my chili. That's okay. He has been very, very accommodating about this little challenge. But back to mine. Yummy. Peanut butter protein balls, or peanut butter oatmeal protein balls for breakfast again today. I'm going to have 2 today. I knew these Tupperware soup containers carried or held a really large amount. So I was actually able to get 2 soup bowls out of this one Tupperware container today. I am sharing with the handsome one. He absolutely loves this French onion soup as well. And because we are both often looking for seconds of it, and we're not having seconds today, we each have a large piece of homemade bread that I toasted with butter. Now that I have peanut butter, I'm having a little snack. This is homemade bread toasted with butter, or what's actually margarine, peanut butter, and homemade Hascap jam. Yay! Tonight for supper, I am going to make a shepherd's pie. I was just going to make a single serving shepherd's pie, but the handsome one is going to eat with me. So I'm going to use this, which I have thawed, and this other half of this hamburger patty. I'm going to use an onion. This is the beef, half of a puck of beef broth that I had from a while back, and I'm going to use that in with it as well. I've got the rest of my mixed vegetables, and I'm going to add some of the carrots in as well. This is going to be good. Of course, and potatoes. Okay, we've got the ground beef, the onions, the veggies, and I used all the rest of the mixed vegetables and all of the carrots. That is just getting ready to start cooking here, and I've got the potatoes on to boil. Starting to look good. The potatoes are boiling. I've got the potatoes drained. Some butter is in there melting, and I've got some potatoes resting on top of one of my little milk pucks. I never thought to take that out in advance to melt it, so I am going to do my best to get it melted in here from the heat of the potatoes. So I decided to use a square cake pan. It's either 8 by 8 or 9 by 9. I've got the beef and veggie mixture in here, and I'm going to add the potatoes next. I've got the potatoes here in just big clumps, and I like to use a fork. Not that I make shepherd's pie very often, but I like to use a fork to smooth it out and just make some little fancy lines. I'm going to top this with a little bit of my parsley, so that's fun for a garnish on potatoes. And I think I might add the tiniest bit of cheese on top now that I have cheese. Looks good. This is ready to go in the oven. The handsome one had a good idea. He said he top it with some cheese slices. And then after the fact, I thought, oh, how good would have it been if I would have put the cheese slices down on top of the beef mixture and then the potatoes on top, but the potatoes were already on. I've got the oven at 350. So we just tested this, and we're going to just pop it back in under broil for just a minute or so. The broiler on our oven is very strong. Told you that broiler was super strong. It's only been in there for like 2 minutes. Anyways, we're going to plate this up. Yummy. Oh man, this is steaming hot, but look how good that looks. Let's get a close-up. Yummy. So good. And yes, I'm sharing my supplies with the handsome one. We are both eating this tonight. 2 protein balls for breakfast this morning. Ooh, chocolate chip in this one. French onion soup again today, and I was able to get 2 bowls out of the second pink soup mug, Tupperware soup mug, and homemade bread, toasted with margarine. Tonight for supper, I am having leftover pizza and garden salad. I just reheated the pizza in the air fryer. The handsome one is also having pizza, but he does not want any salad. Peanut butter oatmeal protein balls for breakfast again this morning. The salad that I had last night with my supper was really good. I'm going to have a big salad for lunch today. Garden salad for lunch today. This is romaine lettuce, tomato, mushrooms, peppers, cucumbers, onions, and olives. Yummy. Very yummy. Salt and pepper. The last of the shepherd's pie for supper tonight. A little side of ketchup with mine. 2 peanut butter protein balls, peanut butter, honey, oatmeal, coconut protein balls for breakfast with chocolate chips. Another garden salad for lunch today. This time I have added one of my last oranges onto it, and I just diced that up. Excited. I am going to make a quinoa salad for supper tonight. I'm going to use the quinoa that I got. I've pulled out of the freezer, so these are thawed now. These are my chickpeas, and I'm going to use other ingredients that I have on hand already. This is why I bought the olives. I'm very excited that I have the grape tomatoes. I'm going to use those as well. Cucumber, green peppers, red onions. I'm pretty excited about this, and I'm going to use the oil that I have with some of the lemon juice and also perhaps some of the juice that's in the olives to make some kind of a little dressing to go on it. Wow, this made quite a lot of quinoa, more than what I was expecting. A little more. This is going to be way more than a meal just for one person for one night once I get the other ingredients in it. Tomatoes and chickpeas in so far. Cucumbers and black olives. Let's give this a stir, or start to anyways. I am making a salad dressing. In here, I have some of that discounted avocado that I had purchased a couple weeks ago. It's not in great shape, but I've got some of the oil. I've got all of the rest of the dill juice from my dilled carrots that I had in the fridge, and a half of a lemon. So I'm going to see what this looks like as a dressing. So this is what my dressing on my salad is going to be, and let's get it inside. And we'll stir this up. This quinoa salad was so delicious that I had seconds. There's enough left for a lunch. This is the end of week 5. I have spent a total of $110 cash, 23, 23, 23, 23, and 18. I've eaten the entire time, and this is what I have left. Let's get started. We've got mayo, margarine, almost gone, new margarine, almost gone yogurt, ketchup, 2 things of mushrooms. We've got 1 3/4 left of the romaine hearts, full head of iceberg lettuce, this much of an English cucumber, some grape tomatoes, 3 oranges, 3 lemons. This is what's left of my original bag of carrots, some garlic. There's 5 eggs in here, cheese. There's a couple slices of cheese left in there. You can see how much. This is leftover quinoa salad. This is olives. This is some of the rice that I cooked. In this big container, there's all kinds of red onions on the bottom, 3 peppers left, and you can see they are not lasting super long. 3 small zucchini, the new bag of carrots that came in the flash food box, a few little potatoes left in there, a little tiny bit of nachos left, 3 packages or containers of oat nog, some flour, some macaroni, some spaghetti, some beef cubes, some rice in this container here. Here we have split peas, taco seasoning, baking soda, baking powder, nutmeg, and cinnamon. Yes, cinnamon. Freezer stuff. I have, this is the soup pack, the chicken soup pack. In there is bone, skin, a drumstick, some broth. This is 2 different separate packets that I can get it out easily of chicken breast. I have peas, squash, some green beans, some broccoli and cauliflower. This is spinach that I rescued. I have sunflower oil, peanut butter, tomato soup, cream of mushroom soup, yeast, 4 boxes of Kraft Dinner, 3 large squash waffles, some strawberries frozen. I'm losing things now because I don't have enough space in one area of the freezer to keep everything together, so I keep forgetting things. In this, which I never mentioned at the end of last week, I don't believe, there are 2 egg cups left, those little egg cups that I made maybe in week 3. This is a chicken drumstick. This is the half a piece of pepperoni left over from the pizza. This is chicken broth, egg cups, or not egg cups, milk, frozen milk. This is frozen pasta sauce. I have chicken strips left. I have 2 packages of ground beef. They are just under a half a pound each. 3 pork chops, a small steak, and a pork roast. This is pretty phenomenal. considering. Considering that I only spent $110 and I have all of this left over, plus I've been eating. And I feel the meals I've been eating are very healthy and substantial. Let me know your thoughts.
We did awesome. And I say we because I was sharing some of my meals with the handsome one. I think I gave him protein balls on 2 mornings at least. He ate soup for 2 lunches. He ate pizza with me 2 different nights. He ate shepherd's pie with me 2 different nights. I gave him chili and cheese sauce so that he could make chili cheese nachos. I didn't have any nachos. I had fine on fries, but he had nachos with the house supplies. So there was so many meals this week. I'm getting to the point where $23 plus the supplies that I already have accumulated is actually able to feed 2 of us. He declined a couple of the meals, not because they wouldn't feed him, but simply because he didn't want those particular meals that I was making. I'm doing great. So I do have plans for week 6. Definitely stay tuned for that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you would do so. That would help me. I hope you guys all have a fantastic weekend.